guys, I'm Anne and welcome to Chronically Beautiful, where we are trying to live our best life even though we probably don't feel like it.
And I just don't feel like it today. I am so run down and so exhausted from work and just house and everything. I am like hanging on by a thread right now. And I know I don't usually like review makeup products or anything, but I just was feeling really down and today, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna play in makeup. And this little guy is something that I think is so cool and that not very many people, I think I've only found 2 videos on YouTube about this thing. So today we are going to explore the Physicians Formula Ultimate Murumuru Butter Collection. That's right, every butter product that they make is in this one little box, and we're gonna dive into this whole thing and just play a little bit and get perked up. If that sounds good to you, please stick around. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, all that good stuff. And finally, don't forget to ring the bell, because that's how you'll be notified of all of my uploads. Okay guys, let's dive right in. So what I have here is the Physicians Formula Ultimate Butter Box, and they've been making like little butter boxes over the last year or so, maybe 2 years, where you get like a bronzer, a highlighter, and a lipstick, something like that. Or like, I think there was one that had like perfume and a lipstick and a bronzer or something. So the butter collection has been like a major hit. Like the butter bronzer has been huge all over YouTube for years. And I do own one of those. And so I own this in light, and they come, that literally fell directly into my trash can. You can't write this stuff. It's right in there. Each of the butter bronzers by themselves are about 12 bucks. You can get them on sale with coupons and things like that. I do have a couple of the butter highlighters, which I love. Oh! That's the second one. I got them. Well, it's a good thing I have this butter box. Oh, I'm so, and at least it went directly into the trash can though. It went directly into the can, except for this piece that fell onto my leg. I ordered this from Amazon, and the first one came and was totally broken. And this one I was like, yay, it's not broken. And then it just fell right out. So, which is weird because these butter highlighters are like creamy almost, but not totally creamy, as you can see, because that one just fell apart into the trash. I don't own any of the butter lippies, but I do own one of the eyeshadow palettes. There's 2. They came out last year. Now I'm afraid to open it and hold it upright because it'll fall out and break everywhere. And so this, I can't even right now. Again, right in the trash can. The Ultimate Butter Box comes with literally everything that Physicians Formula makes in the butter collection. And it shows on the back everything that's in there. It shows you all the shade names of all of the items that are in here. Now this contains highlighters, blushes, bronzers, lipsticks, and eyeshadow. So let's check this out. So it opens like this. It is kind of like cheesy plastic, chunky, big packaging. It's like a caboodle. I saw somebody else, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but she said it was like caboodle meets Polly Pocket, which I totally agree with. It's pretty funny, but it's pretty heavy. So when you first open it, it's got all of the butter eyeshadows here. And then over here are all of the bronzers. And then the cool thing that happens is this slides out. So it slides out once and clicks open, and all the blushes are there. And they've got all the blush colors. Some of them are matte, some of them are shimmer. And then it slides out one more time, and it's got all the lippies. So I don't love this setup for lipstick because I'm just not a lipstick in a pan kind of gal. But it is what it is, and it's nice that they're there because they could include all of them. And then the bronzers slide out, and all of the highlights are there. And then it slides out one more time, and if I can do it, there is a mirror in there, which is so cute. So you can, my life. So you can set it down. I haven't peeled off the thingy yet. It's not that bad of a mirror. So you can set it down flat and work out of it. And I think, to be honest, I'm going to use this when I travel. Now, it might seem a little big and chunky for traveling, But I think just having everything I need and just being able to grab this one thing is like pretty darn cool. And then you just take the whole thing and you just bloop and bloop, close it up, boom, there you go. Or maybe be a little more gentle since we just saw how fragile the highlighters are. Oh, we're going to fix my face right now because it just looks like I don't feel good, and it's right. And just kind of see what kind of a look we can come up with. So we're going to get prettified. I'm going to go in with a mixture of these two, I think. So those two are going to be a mixture of Sunset Bronzer and Brazilian Glow. And I am using my Sonia Kashuk pointed blush brush, which I got at Target! And I love this brush. It's like probably the cheaper Sonia ones that are there. And I love this brush. It's my favorite for bronzer. So I'm just going to dip in to these two guys. And I'm leaving my little sticker on. It's like Marie Barone with her plastic on the couch.
What are you doing?
Everyone wants me to change? I can change. I'm taking the covers off.
Well, where are we going to sit?
Oops, I messed it up. Well, okay, I'm going into all four of these, I guess. So I'm just going to tap off the excess. And these all smell like suntan lotion. They have a definite coconut kind of smell. So if you don't like that, don't get this because all of the butter products smell that way. So I'm just going to hit the top of my forehead, under the jawbone here, and then under the cheekbone. So when I apply my highlighter, I'm really struggling. I'm having like a Hashi flare day, so I can't speak or think. But when I apply my bronzer, I like to do a 3 motion. So, and I just follow that, and then I go over it a couple of times, and then just kind of blend it out. I will say, one of my absolute favorite and best hacks for not looking sick is using bronzer. It's something that I just recently started, probably like a year ago when I started getting into watching YouTube and following makeup tutorials. I never thought of bronzer. I was like, nah, it's for people who want to fake a tan, but not if you wear it right. And so yeah, just go through, blend it out. But if you want to look like you're alive, and then sometimes I'll do a little across the nose just so it looks a little more natural, like a sun-kissed kind of glow, because it does hit the nose. You just want to look a little more alive when you're not feeling very alive. Bronzer is like a great key for faking it when you look and feel sick. So now I'm going to go in with some blush. I love this. It's like a transformer, but for people who like makeup.
Let's roll.
Okay, so I am looking pretty breathtaking in my red hoodie, and I don't want to, you know, mess up that vibe, and you know, because I'm about to go to bed. But I'm thinking I'm going to go in with this color right here. It is a little bit of shimmer. This one is mostly matte. I love this one is mostly matte, and then these are more shimmery, but none of them are like crazy shimmery, like you're going to look like a disco ball. They're all pretty subtle, and they are very buttery. I just hit the apples of the cheeks for a moment, and then kind of take it back. I love these blushes. They're really light, and like I said, it's so cool that you have all of the different shades right there. And I love that they're all you can all mix and match. They're all right there, ready to go. So that's what I'm doing with the blush. Now these highlighters. Let's talk about these highlighters. Like I said, they are they're very, very creamy like everything else in here. But they are almost like a cream highlighter. So let's just, we'll swatch a few of them. It's like, look at, oh my gosh, that one is like purple. This one right here. So they're wet. They feel wet. And you can see they do. I tell you what, like I don't have a highlight in my collection that lasts as long as these last, like, and are as shiny and disco ready as these suckers. They are still on at the end of the day without touch-ups. I mean, they are there. When you put these suckers on, you're committing. So there isn't a right, like this one, obviously I could not use that. That would be wild for me. But it's nice that in here there are anybody of any shade probably could use these, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to go in with this gold shade, which is called Champagne. So you can see it's like stripe. And then you have to blend these out really well because they are very creamy. I've used them with just a regular highlight brush and they're fine. But if you use your finger and kind of go in with it, you can have more control and put them exactly where you want to, which is nice about it. I don't like to go crazy with the highlight. Like, I don't do my forehead because I have wrinkles right there that I am not trying to accentuate. I will go like a little bit over my eyebrows and of course on the brow bone, but I don't go crazy, and I think it looks weird on your chin, at least for me it does. I'm a 40-year-old woman. I don't need to be glowing in every single possible way. Okay, let's talk about the shadows. I am struggling today, y'all. I just don't feel good, and it shows. Look at these like bags and puffs. I'm not too worried about it. This is not a video about how to not look baggy and puffy. It's a video about this thing, so it's fine. But okay, we're going to start with this little brush here, which is completely unmarked, and who knows where it came from, but it's just like a medium-ish, fluffy-ish, shorter, fluffy crease brush, which I prefer when they're a little shorter because you have more control.
That's what she said.
I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Beach Beige. I start on the outer corner and like put the majority of the color there, and then I kind of move it from there to the inner corner. Now, guys, I'm looking in the my monitor here, and I look like so orange on camera, but I promise you it does not look like that in person. I'm like, let's make America great again. That's not the case. It really doesn't look crazy in person, I promise you. Okay, so I got my transition shade down, and now I am, what do I want to do? Oh gosh, let's do something like fun. I'm going to go in, we're going to do like a purple and orange kind of situation. So I'm going to go in with this guy here. So I am taking this. It is an e.l.f. tapered blending brush. Whoops, can't really see that. It's just a skinny little brush. I'm going to go into the outer corner with this dark purple shade. And they are pretty pigmented, but you have to tap them off. Just going to go on the outer V. See how it doesn't, they're buildable. So I prefer to tap a lot of it off and then go in with more rather than have a big hot mess there that I have to clean up. So I'm just going to continue to go in and build up in that outer corner. And I'm going to take just the extra that's left on the brush and drag it in a little ways into the crease. I'm going to keep it in the natural crease and keep it low. Just drag it in a bit and then take it up just a hair here. I'm going to repeat that on the other eye. Next, I'm going to go on with this cool lavender kind of shade right here called Island Hopping. And I'm going to put that all over the lid using this AOA Studios E131 brush. It is just a flat shader brush. Love this brush. It is great, so I'm just going to go into that. It is a matte shade, and I'm just going to put that all over the lid. I think it pairs nicely with that dark purple. They just kind of work really well together. Mind you, none of this matches my red hoodie, but that's okay. So next, I am going to go into this shade here, which is called Sightseeing. And I'm going to apply that with my finger. I'm going to just pop that right in the center of the lid. And, well, I'll tell you what, it's not behaving very well. It is super creamy, but it is like not wanting to sit down on top of the mat that's there. So instead, not good. Instead, we're going to go with this guy, which is definitely one of the chunky, glittery ones. And so, yeah, I'm not loving these layered on top of the mats, guys. It's not good. It's not good. I don't have any. Let me go get some setting spray. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I have some setting spray. I'm going to go back in with my flat brush. I'm going to wipe off the purple shade on this really professional, fancy beauty Kleenex that I didn't just use to blow my nose. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into this chunky glitter shade. So what I like to do when I do this is dip the shadow into the brush first rather than spraying my brush, and then I spray the shadow. So I'm going to try that. See if that works any better than my finger did. No. And then I'm going to dip in again with my wet brush now. Let's see if that will help. Like hard to pick up because it's chunky. I'll tell you what, not loving the shadows. However, I still think, oh, this palette, by the way, is $39.99. I did not mention that before. I still think this thing is worth the $39.99 for all of the face products. I could care less, honestly, if the shadows were in her or not, but I love having all of the face products together. So really not loving the eye look and not loving at all how these shadows are behaving. I have done a couple of other looks that I think turned out a lot better. This combo, though, they just don't seem to like each other, like at all. But what can we do? All right, I am going to go into this shade right here, which is called White Sands, to do my brow bone, since we're up here. Oops, I'm not going with way too much of it, apparently. I'm just going to kind of draw that on like chalk. I am super not happy in general with how this eye look is looking. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let's go in with that crazy purple highlighter. We're going to go in with this crazy purple highlighter. I'm going to put that bad boy on the middle of the lid. That's going to give me that kind of purpley funness that I wanted, I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. You know what? We're going to just put that bad boy all over the lid. Loving it. Yes. Thank you. And then we're going to go in to the orange that I love so much, which was called Heatwave. And we're going to put that on the lower lash line. I'd usually use a normal brush for this, or a different brush, but I don't have one in here. Just wanted to add some of that orange because it's such a cool color and it typically behaves pretty well. Kind of going in with that, smudging it out. And then I'm going to take this shade here. We're just going to try a bunch, which is called Sunset Vista. And we're going to put that on the lower lash line. Just using the same brush because that's what I have in here, just towards the inner corner, just to use that shade and make things a little more interesting down below.
That's what she said.
That's a pretty color too. And then I just dink around with it for a freaking half hour till I can get it to look remotely the same on both sides. You know the drill. Tonight I'm just going to finish the eye look off with some Roller Lash Mascara by Benefit. This is my all-time #1 favorite mascara. I am really loving the iridescent highlight on this eye look. I will say that has just saved the look for me. Okay, so that takes us to the lip. And this is like definitely not the world's most glamorous look. I'm just a normal person, so I'm just trying to look a little more alive. But we're going to go into the lip part of the Monstrous Giant palette. Now, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of lipsticks and pans, but this is what it is. It's going to be hard, I think, to get a full coverage look when I have to either dip it out with my finger. I'm going to try a brush just to see if that will work a little better. I'm going to go in with this shade here, the bottom one in the middle, which is called Brazilian Nut. I would be very careful with this palette because the powders from the other things will super easily get all gummed up in this lipstick. So just proceed with caution. Okay, that's a pretty color. Actually, with a brush, the coverage is not bad. This is not the right brush for this, by the way. It even says eyeshadow right on it, but it's what I could grab. I so rarely ever use this type of lipstick that I couldn't even find a lipstick brush. I'm not using a liner tonight because I'm just going to bed after this, but I definitely find that now that I'm older, I definitely need to use a lip liner. It stops the lipstick from bleeding out into your fine lines. And it's a definite yes if you're doing especially like a red lipstick, you need to have a liner, something dark, just to sort of keep it contained so it doesn't start to bleed. Even young lips, darker shades in reds will bleed out. I do love this color. This is a nice color. It's very pretty. Okay guys, so that is my take on the Physicians Formula Ultimate Butter Collection Giant Pink Transformer Tackle Box O Makeup. I am not fully in love with the eyeshadows, though I do think if you are more of a neutral gal or more of a subtle type of gal, this could work really well for you. And you could definitely even do some smoky looks. There are some dark shades through here. We do have a couple of pops of color that are really nice. You can mix the highlights in with the mix. If you feel like there aren't enough transition shades for you, I know I would probably always reach for this one most of the time. You can get into your bronzers and use some of those. I think this is going to be a really useful product for people who are trying to keep it simple but still want choices and still want to look glamorous. I would give this thing as a whole 2 thumbs up. The eyeshadows, maybe a 1.5 thumbs, but in general, I would definitely buy it again, and I'm really psyched that I have it. So thank you so much for coming on this adventure with me. I hope that you learned some stuff and had some fun, and keep coming back. Take care of you.
Shit like 6 times a day.
Did anyone else think it was weird that I like held this up next to me for my entire intro? I just realized I did that and now I'm doing it again. Hi, friend. I don't know. I just don't know. So what high shallow and get a little bit closer. Looking good. So look, I'm doing it again with holding it up here. Hey, I love you.